Audio check, check. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, maybe. Somebody that's on. Zip is in the house. Bring it on home. Zip, how's the audio? Everything's good? I'm doing the mic thing. Just a quickie check on that if we can. I appreciate it so much. Yes, no, maybe. I don't know. The mic thing is always a problem. Make sure. Yes, no. Can you hear it on there? No. Yep, there we go. We're good. Off. All right, back at you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Happy Oyster Show. I am your host, Bart Burke. We got Freddie the Angry Bayman in the house, doing his thing, having fun, doing it up. Jeff's in the house. What's going on, Hunter? What's happening? Sound is good. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If the microphone thing. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. I don't know. Sometimes I check, but on a real live show, I want to make sure that I get it right. Poachers, thieves, and pirates, and what could go wrong before we get started? Netminder, our sponsor. Netminder Aquaculture Coatings. This shit works, man. It works. It's saving time. It's saving labor. It's saving money. I strongly recommend it. More about that throughout the whole season long. We did a half and half bag. I've been having a couple of haters that have been like, not haters, but people that are skeptical. Let's just leave it at that. And I'm going to put the skeptics to rest. Nothing more than evidence. Proven evidence. Scientific evidence. By yours truly and Freddie the Angry Bayman. You shall see. It works. It works. It's saving time. It's saving money. It's the best. Oyster Tracker. I'm showing an iPad, but let me see if I can get to the right. Our other new sponsor, Oyster Tracker. Okay. It works. We're partly problem. We're working on it. Oyster Tracker inventory tracking system. Brand new out of the box. First time I ever touched an iPad dealing with Oyster Tracker. That's pretty sad. Great guys over there. I'm dealing with one guy, actually. The man, the myth, the legend, the cook, chief cook, and bottle washer. Just a really hands-on guy. I really, really, really do appreciate it very, very much. Check out the video in the description below. Oh, wait a minute. What did he say? The caution with the bay with the video? What? I didn't catch it in time. It sits on the side there. Well, put your glasses on, Fred. Nobody can hear Fred now because I'm the only one that's got the mic on. Where are we at? Updating on what's going on within the farm and what's happening. You guys have been out on the bay. Update on what's going on in the bay.
The guy says he's very impressed because he watched the video and he's seen the cages come directly from the water, and it clearly shows that Netminder is really working. I'm very impressed by the coating.
Bing! There it is. A viewer, a guy, honest opinion, not paid. Coming out. The guy, thank you so much, by the way. Alex Walsh, Netminder Coatings. Go over and check them out. Next, where am I at?
0 fouling and 0 predators.
So far. And we've been pulling them up once a week. We did not use a power washer. We have not had to do any of that yet. And again, there will be problems arise, like how are you going to put it back on again? It's going to be needed to be reapplied and all of that stuff. We'll get to that. Poachers, thieves, and pirates. Been getting a lot of questions about what are you going to do, Bike Man, Bartman, when you have a poacher, or is there going to be poachers? And Fred and I were both talking about it, and Fred's a little concerned about it, and I'm not really concerned about it, but I'm a little bit, I'm aware of it. We're aware of the situation that we could possibly have some poaching. Right now, at the present moment, we're not going to have any poaching because our oysters are not sized for market. Very unlikely that they're going to go out there and steal my seed. But I mean, hey, anything's possible. God bless you. What are you going to do? Awareness. That is probably the biggest thing. Know your other farmers. Treat them with respect. Know the other baymen. Treat them with respect. Treat everybody with respect. If you treat everybody with respect, hopefully it comes around, turns around, and I'm a firm believer in karma and whatnot. Another thing is, keep your eyes open and your mouth shut. That could help, believe it or not. Okay. You guys, I will not broadcast. We will not broadcast. I guarantee you, if we get poached, you guys are not going to know. I am not going to tell you. All right? It's going to be between me and the poacher. Now, what am I doing to prevent that? Number one, inventory management. Put some trail cams. Excellent idea. I know somebody that does do that on the shoreline some. But, again, then you're going to have to monitor it. But I've been looking into it, and it's a really good idea. And there's a base bluff up there, and there's no way. And you set it out. I've already looked into all of this stuff, exactly what you're talking about. And you set the timer for a certain amount, like maybe once every 10 minutes, once every 15 minutes, maybe once every half hour. And you just let it rip. And then because your inventory management is so good that you're going to know, boom, holy shit, I just lost 10 bags of oysters. What happened last night or what happened last week? Then you're going to go back, you're going to know. All you got to do is just it's going to be a boat. You're going to have to know it. So again, knowing your farmers, what boats are out there. Oh, that's so-and-so. Hey, how are you? Oh, hey, there goes Tara Sabatino. I know Tara. She's really cool. And she knows me. She goes right by our farm every time she goes to her farm. Dave Wood, right next door to us. Another one of the Peconic Five, our neighbor. A super neighbor. I see him right there. I talk about him regularly. He knows other farmers, I'm sure. And again, he's got to treat with respect to those guys, and we all got to get along. This is important that we all get along. And then there's other farmers in other areas that we all got to get along. And then those guys talk, and this one talks, and that one talks, and everybody knows exactly where I'm going with this. I think, maybe, I hope. Okay? It comes down to respect. Keep your eyes and your ears open. And I strongly discourage you from poaching anybody if the poacher is watching right now. I know I got some haters that are watching. They're waiting for us to burn in hell because we're going to just crash and burn. But we're not. We're doing pretty good, actually. What could go wrong, Fred? What could go wrong? What do you think could go wrong so far? Now, that's what I've been thinking to myself. And I've been wondering about that one today. What do you think could go wrong with our operation, Fred?
I don't think anything can go wrong. I think the only thing that can go wrong is somebody can go out there and try and rob me. And if they try and go out there and rob me, then they better watch out for the 300 Win Mag. I can get you from a half a mile away.
That bluff is a really nice spot to take a lot of nice pictures with his camera that Fred's talking about. Yeah. And the camera that Fred's talking about, it is what it is and whatever, okay? Just don't do it.
One's going to go through your motor.
That's bad. Thank you so much for my nice shirt. Yeah, this is brand new. I took a half a day off, and I was playing with our screen printer. We got some blanks in. Shirts are coming along. This one was a little on the heavy side. The shirts are coming along really nicely. They will be. Tell him, Freddie, about your nice camera. Marcus is on. Here's another one. A very soon-to-be new farmer right there. Marcus Buffalo. Precious Peconic Oysters. Check him out, follow him, see what's going on. All right, where's my notes? What did I do with my notes? So, did I cover the poaching thing enough? NASCAR. NASCAR is one of the ones that's always asking me about. Did you see any poachers? Did you see any poachers? Did you see any poachers? You're never going to see a poacher, okay? You're only going to see what happens after the fact.
Right. When I cut them up and put them in a cage on the bottom.
Crab bait.
Crab bait.
Okay, you guys will not know when we get ice, blah, 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 blah. Got that. Oh, you know what else they do to help with the poaching thing is they put little GPSs in the oyster. I also looked into those as well. They're a little on the expensive side and whatnot, and then when you do harvest, you got to make sure you get that damn thing out of there, and you got to know which one. And I'd like to see one and touch one and feel one before I put out that money that it takes to have a mock oyster with a little GPS thing in it. Can you imagine, Fred? If I got to go through that, I'm going to sit up in the bluff for a couple of nights, before I think. But again, stay tuned,
I'm going to get the Donzi running.
The Donzi, so that way we have like an emergency boat.
70 mile an hour. Nobody's going to outrun it.
Because but the other thing is you're going to know who it is. I think you're going to know who it is. So anyway, next on the item, enough of that. Inventory management, you got to know if you do get poached. Inventory management, this is where this Oyster Tracker, this new software comes into play. And you're going to know. The other thing with inventory management is you're going to know exactly what you have out there and when it's going to be ready and into what degree it needs to be ready. The buyer of your oysters, he's going to ask you, man, well, how many can you get for me and how often can you do that? Now, some guys might pull numbers out of their ass and some guys might do that. We're going to be able to pull out the iPad and say, bam, here's what I got, my man. Boop, 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 boop. I can deliver this many to you here, provided that the weather is okay and we have a window of opportunity. If need be, we would do a different day. But weekly, I can give you 200 bags. Okay? That's the guy I'm looking for. All right? That is the supplier I'm out looking for. 200 bags a week. You'll get it 2 times a week. We'll supply you 2 times a week, 100 bags here and 100 bags there. Now, if I could get 2 guys at 50 and 50, that'd be great too. That's the goal, okay? That is the goal. We would love to be able to move them to just one person, one guy. Put all your eggs in one basket. Well, if your product is up to stuff, you're not going to have a problem with that. Because the next guy is going to be right over here dying to get your stuff if your product is good. You be in control of your product. Don't have somebody else be in control of your product. That's my father talking right there. As well as know exactly what you have and what you got. It was very difficult for inventory control at the bike shop because there were so many different SKU numbers and we did it all by hand. But the number one thing that we worried about most in the inventory was bicycles. And we took a physical inventory each and every week, boom, of what we had left so that way Monday morning we ordered. Business, guys. This is business. We got to become business people. I know you guys can all work hard, but you got to become business people. Working hard is not the reason for a failure. A failure most of the time is because of paperwork and bills and all that bullshit. Densities. Let's go over here for a minute while we're talking about inventory control and densities. Here is, I've been building, I don't know, we've been talking about a Peloton and this, that, and the other thing. I did a quickie test and I just did a little pop-up video on Sunday night. I put the radio station on and I called it Disco Cage Dance. And then as soon as it was done, it stayed up for about 2 hours and then I shut it off and put it on private. We got quite a few views and we got quite a few view durations and people were checking it out. I've been busting it, man. Look at all the cages we got going on here. I got quite a. Now, we've been keeping a running inventory of how many cages that we've been doing and what is our goal and what is our trays. And Fred seems to not worry. Well, I'm a little scared because of the way it was running. But here's what we got. We we got built 111 two tiers. So that means there's 222 trays that we have built. We have deployed right now 18 setups. We need 66 for the density that we're kind of playing with. I like the idea of the food truck thing. You want to run it? I'll fund it. I'll fund it. You run it. What day? Density. Yeah, well, that's where the inventory comes into play too, Alan. Is if you know when your product is coming to market and what you can really dial in your freshness, and dialing in the freshness is a very, very important thing. We're also probably going to take it one step further with a glue-on temperature trail sticker. More on that later. Good morning. Good morning. Jimmy Frozen's in the house. Here is a tray. Doesn't work too good like that, does it? Can I do it like... Never had an oyster. Too bad. Sorry to hear that. I guess you're going to have one though soon, right? Because now you're going to have a happy one. So here's a tray. Let me put that over here maybe. I can't see that and do this at the same time. This is a brand new fresh tray out of the barn with the top. Here you go. Cost efficiency. How are you? Density. We changed our design just a little bit. I did not put, there is no longer a center divider in here. I don't know if that's a good move or a bad move. Saving time, money, all of the above. The other stuff that's already been done, our first batches, does have a divider in it. We'll see how well that works. We'll see how well this works. Obviously, I'm not making everything in one, but we could also add a divider if we needed to. I don't think we're going to need to. Why did I get rid of that divider? I think it's going to be easier to dump. I don't think we're going to have a problem. The baffle in the middle was to prevent. I was a little concerned about current. And maybe I still will have to be, but we'll find out soon enough. I don't think that the oysters are swish. Once they get thrown overboard and the way we're deploying them and the bridle system and whatnot, they're spread out pretty nicely. I'm kind of happy with it. In terms of density, how many oysters do you fit in the damn thing? I don't know. And everybody you talk to will have a different answer for you on what their density is. Maybe 1,500, 1,000 adults, 1,500 to 1,000. 1,500, I'm really strong, really strong. Because you're attending to them more often, maybe you can get your densities up. You better keep your observations very, very clear, and you better take notes. Oyster tracker, inventory management, what's going on? Here comes my father, density. My father was a chicken farmer by trade and slowly became a processing plant for duckling. My farming was in his background and not in mine. I guess this is still the same thing. Farming is what it is. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The density of how many animals per square foot that they could get into a thing. Because when my father was starting to get into it, he was really drawing it into all climate controlled. The roof, the lighting, the feed, genetically engineering, is that the right term? These animals were processed, it was business. Was it humane? It was as humane as they could possibly be. You're jamming a whole bunch of ducks into, but it was density. I remember my father talking about density because it came down to money, it came down to feed, it came down to the quality of the product. It came down to a lot of things. And I was a little kid when I remember hearing all about this stuff. And I remember traveling around on some of these farms and, various different things that had to be done to make this process happen. And then it came down to how much feed per weight, how much feed did it take for the place to come in, and how much meat did they come out of that feed, and how much labor it took. Does that...
Duck industry was regulated by the feed company.
Fred says that it was regulated by the feed company, and to a certain degree it could have been. And that was also that's where my father started, was with Agway Feed. That's what brought him out here. Again, farming. This is very similar. We do not have to worry about feed. We have to worry about density. We have to worry a lot of different things. Now, that type of farming that my father was involved with, was it good for the ecology? Was it good for the environment? Was it... We were feeding... boy, we could get into big, big arguments. But there's one thing that we do not have to argue about, is the fact that the oyster is doing nothing but good for the environment. No ifs, no ands, and no buts. Which brings me to this small little area that we have, that we need to protect. And how do we protect it? Because now we're getting guys that are flying through the plot.
Yeah, the other day we could have got killed.
Fred says we could have got killed. I'll get to that story in a minute, but people are pissed off that we put too many buoys out there. Well, can you just give us just this little area? We're doing really good. You got the whole bay. We just want the head of a pin on this tremendous universe. We just want this little bitty speck, and we're going to put some yellow buoys out. I was trying to be amicable in the beginning. I'm going to put one buoy out, and hey, put some counter buoys out, and you guys respect, I'll respect. You guys know, yellow buoys, stay away. No. I forgot. People are stupid. So you have to make it idiot-proof. So buoys are going to be the way to go. So we're going to buoy the crap out of it, I guess.
Well, you have to be on top of it like I was the other day when that boat came within 50 feet of us.
So here comes the story. Winchester almost died.
Well, the wake from that boat would have absolutely no question would have knocked everything on our boat overboard.
Fred seems to think that the wake would have knocked everything overboard. Let me give you the scenario, okay? Here we are. We're processing stuff on the boat. We got cages both sides of the boat.
It's flat calm.
It's what's that?
It's flat calm.
It is. It is. There is, because of the way the wind is. There's no. And this guy starts barreling through. Fred sees him. Thank God. I'm like, oh look. And Fred's like, look at this ass. And he's coming kind of straight for us, but he's gonna veer off at the last minute. Fred jumps on the motor real quick and starts to turn the boat into the wake. Thank God he was thinking, because we had oysters on all sides. If that wake would have hit us broadside, we would have been doing this for about 3 times, and about everything would have went right in the drink.
Well, that boat was throwing a 3-foot wake.
3-foot wake, Fred says.
Right.
So, yeah. So, thankfully, Fred... Now, as Fred started to nose that thing up, and we started to go up and over it, now it's not so bad. And I'm holding on to the cages over here. And out of the corner of my eye out here, I kind of see something go. And I look over, and Winchester gets tied up underneath. He managed to get himself up on the rail, and he jumped overboard. And I look out, and where's Winnie? And the boat's still going like this, and I'm like, oh shit! And I go rolling over. I'm like, oh, stop the boat! I grab onto Winnie, I give him a good bear hug, slam him onto the deck. I'm like, Winnie, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna go again. I'll be right back.
Do it again.
And I was like, oh my God, the dog was crazy. I forgot. So that was the excitement.
But you have to watch 24. Yeah, you have to watch.
You have to, yeah,
everywhere.
yeah. And Fred was really, Fred, great job on that. Again, it takes 2 people to run the boat, man. You're not going to be able to run the thing without 2 people.
Yeah, I gave them the finger and they gave the finger back.
Yeah, but
Whatever.
moving on. Report it to the Marine Police. You know what they're going to do?
Laugh at you.
Just take advantage. Again, eyes open, mouth shut. I don't necessarily want to cause any waves to anybody, but I got the visual on the dude. I put it up here. It was a big, sport fishing boat, probably, I don't know, 35 feet. It had one of them, tower thingies on it with the big wheelie things over,
The point to the thing is there wasn't a single other boat out in the entire bay, and he had to go right through the plot and right next to our boat. Wide open. Wide open. I mean, the guy, all he had to do was turn the steering wheel a little, and he would have been a quarter of a mile away from us. It don't make no sense. You
Fred
know?
seems to think he did it on purpose.
I
I
think
think he did it for stupidity.
I think he did it on purpose. Yeah, whatever.
Again, I want to give the guy the benefit of the doubt, but look out. So that was the asshole boaters that we're dealing with. I'm about wrapped up. Density. Oh. Density and being good to the environment and how we have to protect our stuff and how we have to do this and all of that kind of stuff. The cost per oyster. That is kind of one of my goals. I come into my plots, my props, okay? I had the great privilege to work on Paul McCormick's Great Gun Shellfish Farm in the Great Mauritius Bay here. And this is one of his shells. This is a perfect oyster in my book, okay? It has the cup, the size, the cleanliness, the shape, everything. Quintessential, perfect shape, hard shell, tasty oyster, great water, Paul McCormick's Great Gun Shellfish Company. This would be called a little gun. I happen to have one of his shells for a great gun, a big gun. Boom. Okay?
We have 300,000.
This is my model. I'm modeling it after, because of this is one of the best on Long Island, okay? Why not model it to the best on Long Island? Let me get up here for a second. I don't know if I showed you this before, last time or one time or a time, but this is our rookie year, right here, of our oysters going from 2 millimeter, which is way down there, to what was harvested last week, way up here. We haven't been out this week yet. I'm not sure when we're going, but I'm going to take this one right here. Kind of stinks a little bit because they're kind of alive when I put them on there, but hopefully my oyster won't stink like that. Well, it's been sitting up there for a week. And we're going to compare this oyster right here to this oyster right here. This oyster right here, and this is all by measurements, by scientific measurements of calipers and everything. And they are, the results are certified by my accounting firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. And this oyster here and this oyster here, this is exactly 1/2 the size of this oyster right here. 1/2 this way, 1/2 that way, and 1/2 that way. Exactly 1/2. Will this be ready for Halloween? Will we be trick-or-treating and snacking on a beautiful, delicious, happy oyster smile on Halloween? That's what I'm going to mark. Smiles. These are little guns. Mine are smiles. All Easters are equal. I'm not hating nobody. We're all going to be there.
No.
He's going to be there.
No, they're not.
What's that? All oysters are not.
They're not equal.
All oysters are not equal. It all depends upon what you put into it. Okay. I will invite him to our show, to our coming out party on Halloween, trick or treat. I hope that's what we're going for, is to have trick or treat oysters on the back deck with a whole bunch of my oyster friends, and we'll stream it live. I hope. Let's see what happens. Okay. If we could come up with a couple of bags, couple of hundred oysters, we'll be styling, man. Enough for a party, that's for sure. All right, that about rounds it out. I really didn't address the haters. The haters are the haters, and haters hate, and creators create. And Dave Winters and Marine Electric Hate away.
That's right.
Hate away.
I don't know. I just want to say that probably everyone knows that yesterday the president was here, President Trump. He came and he flew in on US 1, the big airplane. Came to Gabreski Airport, which is right down the road here, about 2 miles, not even 2 miles away.
The approach is right here.
Approach is right here. They fly over our house. I did not see him come in US 1, but I did see the C-5 Galaxy support airplane, which is the largest transport military aircraft that we have. It was a super impressive thing. Thank you, President Trump, for
God bless America.
letting us see that. And I want to thank all the firemen, all the state police, all the local cops, all the hazmat guys, everybody that provided support to the president while he was here. When I went to my car show last night in Hampton Bays, I went underneath the Sunrise Highway Bridge in Hampton Bays where the canal goes through, and I saw the most impressive 50-foot, I'm not sure whether it was Homeland Security, Navy, or whatever, but it was a giant gunboat under the bridge and an entourage of armed M16 carrying dudes there protecting the underside of the bridge so that nobody could blow the bridge up when the motorcade went over. It was like superly impressive. I'm glad I got to see it.
That's glad to be an American.
I'm glad to be an American, and that's how they roll, whether you like them or not. That's how we roll in the United States. It's all good to be able to be here.
All right. There you have it.
That's what I got to say.
I'm proud of you, Fred. You didn't get too political about it. I'm happy about that. Thank you. But it is quite an operation. Is it a waste of money? I don't know.
I don't think so.
He was here to get money. I don't know. Oysters for all. Amen, Marcus. Amen.
12 million.
All right. All right. I got nothing more. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Each and every week, we had to have a little update here in the Oyster Cave. We have been broadcasting more and more live from the actual boat, from the actual site, from our lease. We got to get a hold of the Peconic Baykeeper and get them out there, and we got to start promoting that a little bit. And the marketing machine is starting to get into gear. The farming machine seems to be up and in gear very, very well. We're cruising along right now. We're on third, going into fourth gear. We're going to need another roll of wire. I think we got our cage situation under control, but we're always able to adopt. You got to be able to change. Be ready for change. We're having so much fun. It just... He is in a good mood today, Chris. I agree. We're having so much fun. You could hardly stand us. It'd be sinful it would be sinful if we were having any more fun. Because we are happy at the Happy Oyster. I want all you guys to be cool. I want you to be kind. I want you to be happy. And of course, eat me. Did you guys see the back of the shirt? How's it look? Nice, right? They'll be available soon. Love you guys. See you next week.